Morning, everybody. Hey, Headbug. Day's doing pretty good. Jix, Aluvin, hanging in here. Enjoying a little coffee. Doing a fresh import on Fribbles. Because I moved a lot of crap around. Morning, Skywalker. 2,467 pieces of gear. Yikes. I maybe need to sell some gear, guys. Maybe. Maybe I'm hoarding a little too much. How you guys doing today? You having a good Sunday? Man, I hope this guy gets to be good someday. This I need to rebuild. This is a post-Harsetti build, right? What have we got? I said cancel. Let's see. PHP. Ooh. Now that's a little bit all right. Good evening. My account restriction finally got lifted. Yay, that really scared me. Yeah, usually the unusual account activity, Ladons, usually that is a like every time I've seen that in the past, it's people who are using multiple instances to roll accounts, or they're doing something that's pinging the server really fast, like they're using a macro or something. I'm not saying you did any of this. I'm just saying this is usually the kind of things that triggers it.
Slowly moving through a din missions, and him still deciding on a skin, which to pick up whose I doubt epic Stephen will give us this amazing anniversary in future.
Get to that in just a second, Rostfaris. Anyway, what I'm saying is usually unusual account behavior is a fancy way of saying we've detected from your IP address things that are potentially threatening to game stability, right? Repeated pinging, super fast interaction, multiple packets going back and forth so fast that it's causing lag and slowdown. You know, the RAS leg day we get when a popular hero comes out and it's the first day to summon and everybody logs on and summons and the game damn near crashes. They're trying to limit things like that from happening in, you know, from just normal gameplay where there's the occasional person who's like, I'm going to sell accounts online, so I'm going to run 25 instances of BlueStacks and LD players simultaneously and have macros set up to constantly spam and make accounts and sell them and start again and just do all this until I get a bunch of 5 stars on a unit that I can sell for 20 bucks. Right? So that's what those kind of things are going against. Now, sometimes normal behavior can look fishy through a computer's eye when it's just looking for specific metrics. All it would take is some kind of like bug on your computer's end or bug on their server's end where packet's not getting through, it retries to send. Packet doesn't get through, it retries to send, etc., 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 because I don't know, a faulty link in the internet, a bit of a downtime on your local ISP server where it, you know how you get your email didn't send, we'll try again 5 minutes later, messages when you send emails when the internet's partially down. Weird things like that can happen and result in suddenly a whole bunch of packets go through to Epic 7, it triggers the bot, and boom, you get tagged with an account restriction notice. And you got, you know, and you did exactly the right thing. You reached out to him, you said, hey, I didn't do anything wrong, what's going on? Can you give more details? And they probably have been watching your account since then, having the bot occasionally look at it when they see, yeah, it's not like it is a DDoS, right? And just an unintentional one, right? And when they saw that, you know, there was no further fishy activity, they lifted the restriction. So, if it happens again, let me know, and I can talk to the CMs and see if we can get a little bit more detail as to what's going on. But I think you just got, you're the guy who didn't do anything wrong and randomly got pulled aside by TSA for the full body cavity search because they got to do one of those every month to meet quota, right? And Rasta, you are in the thick of it with the Auden missions, huh? You doubt they'll give us this amazing anniversary in the future. You really think that they're going to let the 6th anniversary be better than the epic 7th anniversary? I think one of the biggest things to look forward to is how are they going to top this for the epic 7th anniversary? As to which skin to get though, my friend, that is such a personal choice, right? Look how divisive skins are, right? Some people love the Arby skin, and some people hate the Arby skin. Some people love the APOC Robbie skin, some say it's too different from the new APOC Robbie skin. Here's one that always gets me in hot water. Everyone loves the Rose skin, and I think it's a great skin, but I don't like it nearly as much as her base skin. I think the Valkyrie look on her is amazing, and it fits her character and personality better than the angry schoolgirl with a baseball bat. Some people love this skin. I think it's just a step sideways. It's not that different. To me, at least. A lot of people love the Elena skin. It's too festive. I don't much care for the holiday theme skins, right? The holiday theme skins are nice when it's the season. But when it's not the season, they just kind of feel out of place, right? I don't want to see this in the middle of July. So everybody's got their own. I know one guy who hates this skin. I'm like, she is the only woman I have ever met who can pull off wearing 2 bathing suits at once. She's so damn hot. So everybody's got their own opinion on skins, and you know that's why people are like, can you do a skin tier list? I'm like, well, that's a sure way to get down votes. you just look them over, man. Look them over and pick the ones you like, and go for it. Pick up the ones you think look the best. I thought the Charles skin was really, really cool, right? Until somebody pointed out to me that he has 18-inch long fingers, and now I can't unsee it, and it ruined the skin for me. Charles missed out on his basketball career. Look at that shit. Holy crap. Wolverine doesn't have fingers that long. Did Harsetti get nerfed? People have been telling me that they changed it so that when Harsetti dies, her speed normalization goes away. I have not found anywhere that that's in writing, and if somebody has got like a stove post or a YouTube video or Facebook post where they say that, I'd love to see it. And if that's in fact what's happening behind the scenes, then I'd like to shoot a message over to Smilegate and say, is this a bug or a feature? Did you guys accidentally break this interaction? Just, I'm curious. I mean, you could call that a nerf if that's the case, but one, I don't know if it's intentional, and two, I don't know if it really changes anything. I mean, the damage is done at the start of the fight, right? Thoughts on Alencia? She is the strongest injury unit in the game, and if you're in Guild Wars against a bunch of HP scaling units, she can murder people. Not sure she's got the staying power for Guild Wars, but maybe. Maybe. Let's get this up to... Let's see, I want to have at least 130 speed on you, and let's get you up to 160k EHP. How's my permutations looking now? Man, look at this computer fly. Look at it go. By the way, new computer. I think we got it, guys. I think I'm out of Murphy's Law range by saying it now. It's been almost 3 days without any crashes, so I think we finally have got it licked. We have achieved stability on the new machine. You know what? You know what? I think we want immunity on her too. Let's just go crazy. Let's force immunity set. Can I get it with immunity? That's okay. I'll pull down the EHP a little bit. Hey, I'm glad to hear it, Waylon. Yeah, the question is it an intentional adjustment though, right? Can we do this? Forcing immunity may be a little too much to ask. Yeah, I never really did do the follow-up to the Fribbles tutorial, right? With the tips and tricks part to it. I should do that at some point. Does Elena need to be fast or nah? Out of my favorite waifus in the game. Elena needs to be fast, except I'm going to be using her in a Harsetti application, and if she works well there, I'll build a second Elena, because, yeah, you see the left side Elena? This is a pretty normal Elena, right? For anti-cleave Elena, because you want her CR push to push her up so that she can get ahead of things, but I'm trying to figure out a way to deal with Harsetti, because she made Arena not fun for me, and that made me mad. Because no one unit in the game should spoil something for me. I put my heads together with Professor Loki. He's really sharp on these things. He came up with some really good ideas. And I'm trying to run with them. I don't think... I really want immunity on her. I really, really want immunity on her. How do I do this if I don't use Hero Prio? Do I find something then? Oh, I found something. Okay. Oh, I found a lot of somethings. We're going to steal from people that I'm going to have to fix later to do this. Getting close to your third decked out selector and trying to decide if I should get Mort since I already have 3 of him unbuilt. A plus 15 selector is insane. I want to say yes. He's still an untested quantity. On paper, he looks giga stupid broken. So I want to say yes. Okay, who's this going to steal from?
Harsetti could use adjustment to her passive. When she go ya first, you can tank her out, kill her, and still cleave all team.
I like this. Control plus the minus key for zoom out. Control minus. Oh, well, that's strange. Okay, it's this minus key. It's not the other minus key. Okay, well, that's not so bad. Let's see. Crow don't care. Momo don't care. Dwarfs don't care. Karena. We got one without Karena. Elvira, I kinda care. I kinda care about Elvira. Maybe. Let's flag this one with a star by clicking save. How about here? I care about Christy. I super care about Christy. We can't change Christy. Can't change Christy. Okay, let's just do this. No Christies. No Karenas. Run it again. I need an anti-Harsetti team. My hair is getting whiter than it is. We got a couple for you, I think. Oh shit, there's only one. The Mort meta is going to be so fun. I hope you're right. I hope that the funness that is the Mort meta, I guess it's this one. Oh my god. I told it no Karenas. Oh wait, I gotta click on it. Now I can see it. Okay. Poor Corvus taking another L off the okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I can fix all of this, right? So let's see. Let's pull up Elena. Don't you love that I'm doing this now that Freon Equip is gone? Wait. 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 If I'm doing this, I'm not going to be using Maid in this capacity. I can unlock all of her gear. I bet I'll find a shit ton more sources now, or options now. Because this is pretty much exactly how I built my Maid. Look at that. Look at that. I tell you, ML, Ilanov, Harsetti, Brenya, Mort after this buff. I think I could actually handle that. I think I could Bologna my way through that. But, yeah, there's going to be some scary-ass team comps. What have we got? Ooh, 159 speed. That almost lets me use her in a normal capacity, and it doesn't take from anybody that I care about right now. Let's flag that one. She doesn't need to be that fast, but that's going to let me deal with fast Harsettis better. That'll put me in a proper tune order to go first. What's my super bulkiest? I was just straight up giving her Maid's gear and Hazel's neck. What am I cooking? I'm looking for ways to deal with Harsetti, so it's down between these two. This doesn't really take from anybody. It does take from Rowana, though. This one's a little bit tankier. They're kind of both the same, right? Except this one's got more speed on it, so it's more prepared for a fast Harsetti. And I bet with this one I could just swap out to speed boots for use in normal RTA. And I wouldn't have to change as many things. I'm going to go for this one. Okay, so let's see. Where are you, Elena? Hey, quick question while we're here. How many of you guys like Sid's skin? I'm curious. Put 1 in the chat for Sid's skin, 2 in the chat for base Sid. Let me know what you think. That's a lot of 2s. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like it. I think he's a nutter. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how many people hate this skin. And that is why
I finish my epic dash pass already, but I haven't claimed the last of the rewards. Will I still be able to claim energy tomorrow?
Yeah, because you haven't claimed the last reward, it should still think you need more stuff to do, so it should. I think. We don't know. We've never been there yet. Hey, KG for life! Thank you for the raid, buddy. Hope you had a real good stream, man. What'd you get into over there? Did you get that Banshee team to work finally? Okay, let's do horrible, horrible things to this Elena. Things best not talked about in public. What? Okay, so let's see. We're going for Arunkas, and then we are going for... Damn, that's a lot of defense. Oh, it's an immunity piece. Maid. And over here, we're looking for Maid's piece. The rest are speed. I'm going for... Let's see what we got here. Dude, so close you can taste it. I know, man. I know it is a giant pain in the ass, but once you've got it, you lock those units and you never touch the gear again, and forever you're just crushing Banshee. Mrs. found a crib. We gotta go, and 3 hours away. Holy crap. Good luck with it, man. Good luck with it. Remember, there's no crib that invented that can defeat a kid. They will always find a way out of it. I eventually gave up and put mattresses around the crib. I was like, it's going to get over it. It's a foregone conclusion. Kid's a freaking acrobat. Let's see here. Momo's piece. Where is Momo? Am I missing it? Oh, it helps from not looking at rings. Neck. There's Momo's piece. How many of you guys screaming at the screen? You're looking at the wrong thing! Oh, we gotta fix Rwanda. Oh, God. Ooh, 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 ooh. She's perfect. She's perfect. Don't hate on her. She's perfect. Okay. We'll leave this on. And I think she's going to be fine on Doctor's Bag. That'll facilitate extra healing. Right? Yeah, it's kind of funny. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let's see if this works, guys. Let's find a Harsetti team. This one looks horrifying, right? This is a pretty stereotypical Harsetti team, right? Harsetti, Senya, BBK. This is like basically the meta right now. So let's try my Bite Me Harsetti team. Ah, it almost fits. Ah, we'll figure it out later. And let's put Elena in. Okay. This team is specifically built to deal with Harsettis, and it is awful what I've done to these units to make it happen. Absolutely awful. But let's see if it works. The important thing is that it's quick battle viable, so we're just going to hit auto. So all this happens, even if it's like a 300 effectiveness Harsetti, we should be able to cleanse some of the debuffs off. Enough that she can get this up and running. BBK does her thing. Won't kill anybody because we're super tanky. This will cleanse the rest of the BS. Piss off BBK, which will piss off Senya. Oh, didn't hit BBK hard enough to piss off Senya yet. She'll survive this because she is giga tanky too. How much effectiveness on our Broman? The silence is unfortunate, but at least we cleanse. These 300 effectiveness Bromans are crazy, man. You know what I need? I need to put frickin' Shamadra's staff on her. Extra 20 effectiveness. I'm missing out on that. I need to do that. Smack. That'll piss off Senya. Do we get a murder penguin? I think we're due for a murder penguin. Man, this Broman. Ouch, ouch. She lives. And this will kill her, though. This will kill a lot of people. I think... Good in the heal. And Shamadra's staff will make that heal more... Wow! Yeah, we definitely need Shamadra's staff. It'll make the heal better. Murder penguin. Watch how hard this hits. Watch how hard this hits. I mean, it looked unimpressive, but there's big-ass barriers everywhere, right? Losing our freaking counter buff is killing us. That Broman... Scary. Okay, I think we're okay. We got our counter buff back up. Really? You got this back? That's fine. Bam, bam, counter, smack. Boom, counter. Murder penguin. Murder penguin should heal us back up. Smack. Spamming murder penguins. Time matter was such a good idea on this unit. Oh my god, it's gonna be close. Oh, she pulled it off. It was not clean. I think we definitely need Shamadra's staff in play. Oh, that's the wrong ass button. Okay, so this is pretty spooky, right? But it does have Harsetti. So let's see. Let's get you on Shamadra's staff. Unfortunately, I think my staff's only plus 15. Whereas it's big and purple, big and purple. There we go. Oh, we're below 2K. Okay. No Senya on this team, so it should die horribly, right? Any replacements for Ilanov? Not really. But, yeah, you could try Senya. Senya should work pretty good. High effectiveness on her? Nope. Lots of resists. High effectiveness. There's no such thing as a high effectiveness Tywin, so this will be resisted across the board. It's a very high effectiveness Tywin. He didn't have rage before he did that, right? Did he have rage before? Oh yeah, he had rage from her. That's why. Never mind. Never mind. That's the wrong button. She should have S3'd. Well, this is unfortunate. User error. Pilot error. We might still be okay. Arya's going to get her thing up here, right? Surely that poly doesn't cut. That poly cut.
Yo, Lydica, or Ken to use the selector for PVE users, and good luck with the team.
Thank you much, Warxus. Ken. Yeah, definitely Ken. Any unit that dual attacks with the highest attack unit value. Golem and Wyvern, top tier unit for both of those. Crazy as it sounds, I still think we're okay, guys. Murder Penguin. Oh shit, he's raged. He's raged. He's gonna stun me. Stupid Tywin. Don't kill me. Frickin' Tywins. I wonder how different that would have been if we'd gotten that S3 off first instead of me misclicking the S1. Let's find out. Let's have a knight ignore Euron stun. Genius. Yeah, and do two-turn defense break while we're at it, right? Hey, Amateurus. I can barely see the white on blue. I hope I didn't butcher your name, man. Thank you for the super, and I'm glad to be here. Sunday mornings are nice. Okay, so this is good because everybody's got immunity, so this is only going to stun Elena. We're going to cleanse the defense break here, right? It's left to right. We'll cleanse the stun, leave the defense break. But then she'll do this. Oh, it's beautiful! What are you going to do now, Harsetti? What are you going to do now, Landy? The more I look at this, the more it's like she throws her hands up in the air, turns around, sticks her butt out, and farts a purple cloud on the enemy. Watch for it. You won't be able to unsee it now that you've seen it. Any replacement for Laya other than DDR for opener. Where are you talking about, Farrell? Because, I mean, the replacement for Laya is Mediator Coeric. But, I'm not sure what kind of a comp you're trying to build there. Yeah, we'll go with that she's hip bumping the purple cloud and not expelling the purple cloud. Is Bellion an easy build for beginners? Yes and no. She's easy in that she's got so many different builds. I've built a 290 speed Bellion. I've built a base speed protection set with 35k health Bellion. I built a counter Bellion on damage. I built a counter Bellion on high HP with no damage and use 3F. I've built an injury Bellion. World's your oyster on that.
On a DMG, Harsetti.
Do you think Black Hand of the Goddess would work on a damage Harsetti? Yes, but I've tried damage Harsetti, I've tried injury Harsetti. They seem to universally be shit compared to bulky effectiveness Harsettis. But you pick the one you want and run with it. But yeah, that would give you some extra damage for sure. Man, don't talk to me about 3F Bellions. I lost a fight yesterday against a guy who had a 3F Bellion, a 3F Senya, and a 3F Ilanov, and his Harsetti was on Fairy Tale for a Nightmare. I've never been chip damaged down so much in my entire freaking life. It was crazy. Yeah, right? What the fuck? Yeah, I was like, congratulations, you wailed your way to victory on that one. Okay, so now we know the bones of how this team works. Let's see how consistent we can be. I don't think there's anything here that could potentially control my units or strip my units except for a very high effectiveness Harsetti, and we've got 2 cleansers ready to deal with that shit. So let's see how it works on quick. Not bad. Let's pick another one. Let's see. Tywin is potentially dangerous because of the high effectiveness, but he's the only Harsetti team up right now. It kind of makes me feel bad not going after one of these non-Harsetti teams. But let's try it. Let's try it. So click this one. Can you replace ML Ilnov with any other? Possibly with Dragon Bride Senya. I mean, you can really put anybody in that spot that can bring some mitigation. You could put Eaton in that spot. You could put Crimson Armin in that spot. The problem is, you just need to not take this team into teams that have penetration, right? The big thing about Ilnov is she craps all over this girl. Makes it a lot easier to run against her because you get rid of the penetration. Yeah, well, just take a mitigator. Adamant Eaton, Arius Crimson Armin, Last Rider Crow on Arius, built super bulky. You're going to take so many incoming attacks, your Last Rider Crow is going to be ready to like pop off with the damage, but her entire job is keeping Arya alive, so any unit that will help keep Arya alive is your go-to unit. Let's see. Okay, do we want to do Tywin backing up Yufine, or do we want to do Senya backing up Yufine? I think Senya backing up Yufine sounds a little scarier. I've not tried this team into Yufine before. Let's actually watch this one and see if we see any room for improvement, right? What's another choice instead of Arya? Completely different team entirely. This defense hinges on Arya. You'll want to use like ML Ken, at least until Mort comes out, or Seaside or Lone Crescent Bologna as your DPS, and you'll probably run Dragon Bride Senya in place of Christie in that case. I want you guys to take just a minute to appreciate that Harsetti just debuffed my 350 ER Arya. There's some real freaking monsters out there, right? Oh yeah, Mortal on Defense is gonna make ML Ken useless. Exactly. That's why people are like, should I pick up ML Ken from the tickets? I'm like, maybe wait and see what Mort does to him. Holy crap, where's that injury coming from? Who's injuring? I guess it's just Illanov. Must be a high damage Illanov. What's the Arya build? It's the worst, most awful Arya build you've ever seen. But it's a damage Arya build. You notice those 5-digit damage numbers when she popped off her murder penguin there? I sacrificed all of her speed and all of her... Well, not all of it. I still kept about 100 ER on her. And she's getting the rest of her ER from Bastion and Christie. And from, what do you call it? From Shamadra staff. Piling in. Okay, so here's the big test. She's going nutso mode. Can we take it? That healing right there. That's what's stabilizing us, I think. In your opinion, Alencia or Ray? Alencia. Only because you've got Bernard. See, the anti-pen of Ilanov is what made us be able to survive that U-Fiend's double tap there. Otherwise, she probably would have killed 2 units. Holy sack! I thought everybody ran her on Elbrus now. Your favorite units are Fire Ken and ML Ken. Someday we have a Light Ken. Maybe, maybe. That'd be kind of cool. Screamage. Provoke. Resisted. Oh, not resisted. Cleansed. Yikes. Oh, for crying out loud. Can you not counter every time I freaking touch you? This better heal a lot or we're boned by this incoming attack. If we survive this, we win. If we die here, well, we die here. And without Ilanov, I think we die here. Yep. Okay, so what if we don't let her transform at all? What if we do this and we run without a healer? You think? Have you tried the immortality stacking team? Yeah, I don't know if you noticed before, but this this right here is a 350 ER Arya, and she just stripped and put all 3 debuffs on her. So that's kind of a problem. God, this is not going to get rid of the stun. It's going to get rid of these 2 debuffs and leave the stun up. Yeah, so the immortality, I mean, it would work versus most of them, but such a large number of people are building insane effectiveness. I mean, that's over a 350 effectiveness Harsetti, maybe over a 300 effectiveness Harsetti to be able to put through all of this. Losing an entire round of that stun is going to kill us. We needed to have her S2 up by now. And it seems he's got one of those really cool 100% counter sets that none of the rest of us are allowed to have. Okay, possible way forward? Possible? Bam. Murder Penguin? Is Brieg good? Brieg's amazing. Can you give some context, though? In PvP, Brieg's kind of terrible, but everywhere else he's amazing. She screams, she gets countered, she gets put in the dirt, she comes back because of Holy Time Waster. Hit. Extra hit. In PvP, no, he's not good. Some people will use him, but he's niche at best. There's a handful of people like, no, look, he's really, really good. I'm winning some fights with him. Like, usually he's a cheerleader. Usually there's better choices. Shit, we were so close. We were so close with this team. I think if we hadn't gotten stunned right out of the gate, we were fine. Disappointing. Okay, so I guess we've just got to avoid the U-Fiend teams, or we switch to our ML Ken Bologna variants when it's a U-Fiend team, right? Like when it's a U-Fiend team like this, instead of using this team, we use this team, right? Except I can't really use Maid because I took her gear off, so we do this team. Surely. Oh shit, I meant to quick battle. Yeah, Brieg's one of the most important PVE units out there. But, yeah. If you could buff Strays, what would you give him to counter this meta? Zeo's passive. It's the only thing to counter the Harsetti's meta. Jesus Christ. Yeah. ER is really a fake stat, guys. As long as we live, we're good. Of course we live. We're giga tanky. Kick, 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 kick. I think between this team and the other team, I think this, I think we might have most of the Harsetti teams answered. Who do I pick from the ML5 from the Fallen Selector? Oh, you already have DDR. So that would come down to Mediator Queric and Conqueror Lilius, or... who are the other ones on there? There's one other I feel like I'm missing. Astromancer Elena is getting replaced by Mort. Sylvan Sage, Vivian, Cavalin. Okay, so Elena gets replaced by Mort. Commander Pavel is a dead pick now. Mediator Queric is basically a crappier version of Laia. Conqueror Lilius has been basically removed from the meta, though she's still good in PvE. Rylet's not a real unit anymore. Okay, if you can build Sylvan Sage Vivian, I think she's your pick if you're going into PvP. If you don't want anything to do with RTA or PvP in general, I think you pick up Conqueror Lilius. If you don't have Laia, you consider picking up Mediator Queric. Those are your three choices, and it just depends on what your goals are in the game. All three of them are really good. The biggest issue with Sylvan Sage Vivian is she takes really good gear to make her work. Okay, so I think we've got our two teams built, so let's analyze, right? This one has got Euphine, and if it's got Euphine, we're going to use the... Bite Me Euphine team, right? So that's this one. And this should work nicely. Watch the other team work. I'm going to have to watch more of these slow-ass teams to figure out where the W's and L's are inside of them. Definitely don't want to take Arya into this. I think it would win, but it would take forever. But you know what? There's no BBK, there's no Senya. Can you imagine how long this fight would take without quick battles? Oh wait, what's freaking never mind, I'm probably dead because I have a... Yeah, because I had no source of sustain on here, so it eventually just chipped me down with no healing. I'm just curious if it could win. No. Yeah, it's too much with Destina. And Arya's just not going to chew through Destina. She's eventually just going to keep bringing people back and bringing people back. And Elena can't keep up with Landy's damage. Okay, so now we know. Let's stick to what we're good at, right? This team, the Arya team, should work really, really well here. What's the best midnight in the meta right now for non-Ilanov havers and why? Probably Senya, because she not only is a midnight, she's a damage dealer, and she puts up a big shield. If you're talking about innate mitigation, then probably Crimson Armin, because she can put up the gold shields and stall out a round, and if you can stall out an entire round of damage, that gives a huge advantage to the person with that unit. That's why Crimson Armin and Maid Chloe were such a powerhouse together. You really want to watch a master of the stall out and mitigation knights. Check out KHM's channel. Watch him do some streams. Okay, so BBK, but we've got Tywin. This one I like, right? Bellion into Arya should be a freaking slam dunk. Because Bellion's going to trigger those counters left and right. Easy game. Okay, we don't want to do this. Arby could potentially ruin us. It's so weird seeing these two together. What's this guy cooking? This must be a super fast Harsetti, right? This is a fast Harsetti. This guy's cooking people. Ooh, ML Ken. Harsetti affects up Rowana unless it's a super fast Harsetti, and then that person's Harsetti goes first, and then Rowana goes first and resets the entire team. If it's like a 300 speed Harsetti, suddenly Rowana resets you, RB cleaves you, BBK comes and finishes up the job. I bet this guy's entire team, I bet it's like 300 speed, and then this is like 270 and 250. Bet you money that's the way this is set up. I think it's better to make new ML5 units banner every 2 or 3 months, so people have more time to save up. Yeah, that'd be better for us, but how's that going to make Smilegate a ton of money with people buying Mystic packs, right? I want to see this one, and I want to see what it does. Oh, shit, I hit quick match. My bad. Well, I guess we're going to find out. And I'd love to have seen how we won that. Must have murder penguined him to death. Ooh, Amiki. Are we scared of Amiki, guys? I guess we're not scared of Amiki. Amiki's such a good unit, but the AI is stupid with using her. Poly Tywin was a little bit disturbing. Oh, there's no Harsetti on this one. This is a pretty standard, straightforward meta defense, right? BBK, the double knights, and Harsetti. Let's see if we can endure this one. No. No replacement for ML Ilanov. I wouldn't say no replacement. You can try to get away with like a Crimson Armin or a Bride Senya. It's just be careful about taking it into fights where there's penetration, because her whole point there is to try to slow down the penetration damage put up Indomitable, but I think if you ran an Adamant Eaton or a Crimson Armin on Arius, you might be able to get enough mitigation out of those. Just make sure that that Crimson Armin is the tankiest damn thing on the planet. Maybe put her on protection set. Okay, let's see what happens. This is a pretty straightforward one. We should be able to win this one pretty easily. Should. I've said that a few times now, haven't I? Have I made the ML tier list? No, we'll do that. We'll do that as soon as I'm out of these flags. I've only got like 3 attacks left. Then I'm not going to bore you with Harsetti fights over and over.
Have you made the ML tier list?
Why is Champion Zerato on... Why is Champion Zerato on Midnight Bloom or on ML... Why is Champion Zerato on MLB Violin or Crown not a good against Harsetti teams? Because his stats are so god-awful low, he just dies. I've seen the video you're talking about. Champion Zerato counters the Harsetti meta with a whole bunch of cherry-picked fights where he didn't die. I swear, that guy must have done like 100 fights and picked the 6 where it worked and made a video out of it.
Hey,
because...
Tristen. Got one selector left. Should I pick Mort or Elvira for PvP?
You should pick Mort. I tried building his team, right? I got catfished by it too. I built it and I did better. I had 100 more defense and 1,000 more HP than him, and I had more effectiveness. And I went in there and just universally, like, Senya S3'd into a Harsetti S1, S2, and what do you know? My Champion Zerato's dead. So yeah, when it worked great. It just did not work consistently at all. It was like a sub 50% win rate with Champ Z. You'll really have to cherry pick the teams you go into and hope there's not a lot of 3Fs involved. Hope you don't have Ilanov and Senya going back to back, because the two of them together always kill Champ Z. You gotta have Champ Z go between them to self-heal back up or something to keep the sustain up. It was not easy. Can Arya be replaced with Kayron? Possibly after the buff. Possibly. He can have the ER without the speed. He does the counters. He won't have the murder penguin. See, the thing about Kayron is he will have the counter buff, but the other people won't be stealthed. And this works because she stealths everyone else, funneling the attacks into her counter buff. And we don't have that with Kayron. You just have to hope people choose to hit Kayron, and everyone else will probably be lower health than Kayron. I don't know. I don't know if I could make it work, Shinobu. Can you check my Elvira after the match? Sure, she's built for just standard RTA, though. There's nothing exciting about her. Okay, we're not taking the Murder Penguin into Lionheart Sirmia. That feels like a recipe for disaster. So we've got BBK and frickin' Captain Shoulder Pads himself, or we deal with this. There's not a big damage dealer on here, right? We don't have a we don't have Senya out here nuking. We don't have, you know, all we have is Ilanov and Euphine for damage. So I think for this one we can get away with going back to Elvira. We should be okay. Joke, why are you speaking evil into this world? Sure, why not? Let's give him his rage early on. That sounds like a good idea. Good job. Good job, Elvira. I'm helping. It's okay. Arya keeps her immunity. As long as Arya keeps her immunity, this guy's not going to bother her, because although he is ignore ER, he does not strip. Can you imagine if Tywin stripped too? Okay, this is fine. Not worried about the defense breaks because everybody is stealthed. Now we counter. Hit again. Now we counter, and we summon the Murder Penguin. Big damage! Blabbo! Pure White Trust, you need to stop inviting evil to the table. Bam. Bam. She screams. She gets smacked in the face. Hit. Smack. Elbrus, because why not? We didn't need a healer, guys. We didn't need a healer at all for this because it was a very low damage defense. Good job, Elvira. Good job. We might build a third team that's just a clone of this with Elvira so I can just swap back and forth as necessary. Now, see, this is a high damage team, right? With BBK and Senya, so I wouldn't want to take Elvira into this team if this was Euphine. There's no Harsetti here. BBK. This is a low damage, high control team. I think we're okay here, but we definitely want to have a cleanser back on the team. Watch this freaking Tywin silence my Arya. Secret Art Storm Sword BBK. Interesting. Okay, good. That'll push up BBK, right? Oh no, because it was still during Harsetti's turn, so no push. Look at that fast BBK. This shouldn't do anything that BBK's full health. Oh, I actually killed Christie. GG. My first turn. Oh, sorry. I'm sitting here running minimize screen. That's my Fribbles account. From when I was building the units. I just forgot I was minimized. Oh, this looks perfect, guys. Gold shield. Counter buff. Smack. Come on, proc the BBK. Smack. There, she's procced and blinded. You know, a fast one like that probably doesn't have any ER. Probably gets stripped by the murder penguin. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Get fucked, BBK. Who do I play in Guilty Gear? I've honestly never played Guilty Gear. I've watched a friend of mine's play it a lot. But, yeah, I'm no good in fighting games. As much as I loved my no ER BBK, even I've caved to the ER BBK meta right now. It's kinda necessary. So I think this works, guys. I think we got 3 teams, and you just have to be a little bit cerebral about where we take them, what the enemy has set up with what they're doing, and which of the 3 to take. And I think we can beat most, not all, but most Harsetti teams. When is the next ML coming out? November 7th. Alright, guys. Just for old time's sake, let's go ahead and fight the one last guy in all of Arena who's not running Harsetti. Let's go ahead and do one last cleave. Wait, how do we know the date? Because the banner, it rotates every 3 weeks. And on the 7th, or sorry, on the 17th, on the 17th, Harsetti goes away, and we get the next rotation, which is just like reruns and everything. And then once that goes away, then we get the new ML5. Now, it is possible, they've done it in the past where they say new ML5 not ready yet, or something else is going on, and they do like they insert a custom banner in there to like buy time and shift it back another 3 weeks. But typically it's like 3 weeks of rerun, 3 weeks of new, 3 weeks of rerun, 3 weeks of new. I want an Espa rerun so bad. Sorry, Odin. I wish I had good news for you on that, but it's not going to happen. Do you want it because you want the tools, or do you want it because you really like Espa and you want the units? Because if you want it just because you want the tools, there's always a chance that Smilegate does something about that. But if you want it because you want the units so bad, short of going out and getting an account that has those units on it, you don't really have an option. I doubt they'll do a custom Mystic Summon Prince with a Headhunt event coming up right behind it. Just unlikely. Oh, who gets stunned here? Who's most likely to have Holy Sack? I think it's probably you. Warhorn. Dirty. Get him, Ludwig. God, I miss doing that. That's so much better than this bullshit with Harsetti. Whew. Oh, you guys wanted to see some units, right? So what we did here to deal with this bullshit. Oh yeah, you can't use any of these teams into Rowana. No Arya teams into Rowana. So, the Arya is just built down to about 100 effect resistance, right? So mind you, that's 98 effect resistance, plus another 20 from Shamadra's staff, plus another 150 coming in from Christie, plus another 50 coming in from Bastion of Hope. Plus another, well, she was getting another 13 from Maid Chloe. I guess I lost that last 13 from Maid Chloe because I switched to Elena. So now we're only rocking about 320 ER currently. So even though it's 98, she's functionally 320 ER. The important thing is that she survives. We're running Time Matter, which is really, really nice, because this boosts her damage significantly and reduces her skill cooldowns on kills, which lets her cycle her S3 and keep it up, and runs our murder penguins out even faster. I've got her on the EE that increases our murder penguins damage by 10%, and I guess I could fish for one more ER on this. And she's on lifesteal. I think she has to be on lifesteal, and that's what makes the build kind of hard, is getting this level of damage on her. 2k by 2k by 300, because remember, although she's a defense scaler, her attack scaling does matter. So I tried to push for above 1800 on the attack, above 2000 on the defense, above 14k health, because otherwise she'll die to all the monsters out there. I think 90% crit chance and above's fine. And people are like, oh, not 100%, it's 50%. Well, who cares? Who cares if it's even 50%? Did you see how many times she attacked? How many AoEs and multi? She always hits 2 targets, and then she murder penguins and hits all 4. If it's 50% crit chance, it would probably still work. But, you know, try to get like 85 crit chance or above. You got to make sacrifices. I would rather be at 85% crit chance with this damage than 100% crit chance, and I can only do 260 crit damage. Savvy? This is one of the few units where you can actually say, you know what, it's okay if she doesn't crit once in a while, because she'll eventually crit. More often than not, right? 1 out of every 200 attacks, she's not going to crit. I can take that. I'm sorry, 5 out of every 100 attacks. So, like, what's that? 1 out of every 40? 95 divided by 100. Anyway, math's hard, and I don't want to think about it. That's my Arya. Not a RTA viable Arya. Not an Arya that works in any way without Christie. close to 300. The more ER, the better on her, right? The more ER, the better, so that she can send half of this to the back row. So she's sending 145 ER to the back row to Christy, right? And then this is giving an additional 50 ER to the back row, sending that to Arya as well. So, roughly 195 ER is going back to Arya. 145 from this and 50 from this, right? And her ER, 9% of this is going to the back row. When she dies, that 9% goes away. And when she dies, the benefit of this artifact goes away. So build her with a little bit of bulk. I think I need to rebuild her to be tankier. She's dying a little too fast, and when she dies, I lose 59 ER on my Arya, and I don't want to lose 59 ER, right? 50 from this, and the 9% from this that's going to the back row. So I'm going to rebuild her to be a little bulkier. I did put immunity on her. I like immunity on all the units. It's just that extra layer of, that's one additional proc. They have to proc to strip the immunity, and then they have to proc to stick the debuffs. So a good rule of thumb is immunity set's worth roughly 20 ER if you're trying to average out was it worth it or not. If putting immunity drops 20 ER, it's fine. If putting immunity drops 50 ER, then you run without immunity. Immunity also protects me against those Tywins that happen to go first with their stuns. Don't at me over this. I've got 2 Ilanovs, so I can afford to build this monstrosity. 198 ER plus 20 from Shamadra Staff plus 50 from the Bastion of Hope. So this is a 268 ER Ilanov. I've got her imprint turned off, so she's sending 5% more ER to the back, because the most important unit to not get debuffed is Arya. Everything for Arya. Everything that helps Arya not get debuffed, we send to Arya. So yeah, I'm not using the health one. As tanky as I can get her, because you want her to live. Good amount of defense. Nothing else. No damage, no injury set, nothing else. And she doesn't have immunity, but she gets it from this artifact. This artifact is giving Arya immunity and Ilanov immunity, and starting the back row with a barrier. I don't recommend building an Ilanov like this. You want to build an Ilanov that looks like this instead, right? Much better Ilanov. But Arya's my damage dealer, so a damage Ilanov wasn't that big of a deal for me. Though you could run a damage Ilanov. Just maybe send that 12% ER back to Arya, right? But I wanted my damage Ilanov for other places, so this is the Ilanov that I'm running on that offense. And the dumbest looking Elena you've ever seen. Just, she's built like freaking, built like Rowana, right? Just lots of bulk and lots of ER, and you don't care about anything else. The 159 speed just worked out that way, right? There's no ER to send to the back row, and Arya doesn't use attack that much, so I'm letting her keep the self-imprint to try to keep me above 200, 220, plus the effect of Bastion. I'm at 250 ER on this girl. And that's it. If you want to build Maid, if you want to use Maid Chloe in place of Elena, the exact same way, except you turn Maid Chloe's release on, because she does send ER to the back row. But Elena's a little bit stronger of a cleanser, a little bit stronger of a healer. And that's this team. Now, when I'm running across those pesky Eufiend teams, as long as there's not too much damage on the enemy side where I'm going to be suffering for lack of healing, I've been putting Elvira on there. And this is my Elvira. So she's at 281 ER plus 50 from Bastion, plus 5 from Ilanov, so she is sitting here rocking 336 ER. And of all artifacts, I've got her on this stupid little Guild War artifact. As health decreases, defense, blah, who cares, but evasion up to 40%. So when her health is zeroed out, she's at 40% evasion, which means even those Bromans are going to have a hard-ass time stripping this 336 ER girl when they miss half of the time on their strips. But, she doesn't need the speed, except sometimes I'm using her on faster comps in Guild Wars, so I left the speed on her. I thought about putting more bulk on her so she could live more, but she's got the immortality, so who cares? So, probably one of the easier units in the game to build, really. And for this team, I just put Senya in the mix. This is my standard anti-Harsetti Senya. I could slow her down to deal with Harsetti, but I use Senya everywhere. So slowing her down wasn't an option. So I just went as bulky as I could at over 200 speed. I'd like to have her closer to 220, but I couldn't quite get the speed and maintain the bulk. I'll forever be asked about my 5% wasted effect res, but I can't get rid of it, right? It's on the helmet. It's just forever there, staring me in the face, not being flat HP, not being flat defense. But it is what it is. And oops. And the man of the hour, and I mean the hour because he has only got about an hour left on the stage, is martial artist Ken, and his existence is very, very threatened by the advent of Mort. Mort could very well take away his usefulness in this because his entire kit is wrapped around his ability to counter, and Mort gets rid of it and turns him into one of the weakest units in the game. So if you want to use this offense, you can't use it against any team that has Mort on it after the 17th. And I built them a little bit bulkier than average to survive, but, you know, decent damage. I've seen ones that hit harder, that are thinner. I've seen 1400 defense by 15k health. I think they die too easily, and dead Kens don't counter anybody. Martial arts Ken will still work. It's just you won't be able to take them into teams that have Mort on them. And the question is, are we going to see this team and Mort instead of Tywin? Or this team and Mort instead of Senya? We got to see which one's better. That's why I was warning people not to pick up Mort from the Galaxy Shop until we see how, or pick up Ken from the Galaxy Shop until we see how Mort impacts him. Now, the alternative and what this team will turn into post Mort is this, and this works just fine too. Now, she'll probably go from a counter set to a destruction set if Mort becomes a thing, and I'll just run this team instead. Her slapback attacks are not considered counters, so Mort would have zero effect on her. And that's it, man. That's all I got for dealing with Senya right now. Oh, there's the really cool Fenris team that we talked about yesterday too, but I got to rebuild my Fenris. What's the rat selling today? Garbage. Don't buy anything from the rat, guys. Stuff. Was that it? Did I clear it? Okay, no more dash stuff. Hey guys, remember, Hall of Trials ends tonight. So if you haven't done your Hall of Trials, get taken care of. What EE's on the Aria? The one that makes the Murder Penguin hit harder, the number 2 EE. The Murder Penguin's her hardest hitting skill, so I put it into that. here. Let's pick this up. What are we farming today, guys? Wait, is there anything left on the epic pass here that I need to farm? Labyrinth. More labyrinth. Clear A13. How many times? I gotta do 30 of those, so we'll do A13. Golem. Runes. Runes. Let's do runes. What runes do I need? I like getting runes banged out while I've got time. I can double up with this thing on a buff event, and then I don't ever have to worry about running out of heckin' runes again. So let's see. Runes are here. Looks like fire and light. And yeah, see, I'm low on all of these. I'm pretty good on the 3-star runes. I'm plenty good on the 4-star runes. It's just these, so... Screw it. Let's do a bunch of runs into all of them. Do dark first. Once we do this, we'll jump into that tier list and get that knocked out. Shit. Do I have any 2 stars that aren't wearing any gear? Oh, perfect. Here, hold this bug.
We need tier list of who would win a fight against Tristen only 7 units.
Those of you not catching what I'm doing here, put gear on 2-star units for storage, and then you can fodder the units later to unequip them for free and dodge the equipment cost, right? See how I've got 680 pieces of gear available right now. If I transmit this Judgment Griffin with the gear on him, Judgment Griffin gone, no unequipped cost. 686. I get the equipment back. The equipment doesn't go away. So if you're ever like out of room for gear and you don't want to stuff things in the storage and have to fish them out later, you still want to be able to see the gear on things, then when you go to like re-gear your units and you're like, oh, you know, need a neck for her, and you're scrolling through and like, oh, there's the perfect neck, but it's on this bug guy. Well, instead of spending 47k gold to find it, you go find the bug guy and you transmit him, and that will put, and then you go back in and suddenly that gear won't be on anybody and you can equip it for free. And then you can pull another 2-star and throw the gear on it. You're out of room for units too. Well, then you've got a bigger problem. You're a hoarder and you're just like me and are struggling to play this game. You're going to have to make some choices at that point. I really do need to clean up my account. It's stupid that I have to play these kind of games. I shouldn't be running to these issues. Anyway, I picked these 3 because I'm friendship farming them for Mola. It's in my tips and tricks video, but yeah, I can put something up about it. Ooh, 6. How we looking now on our runes? That's better, 45. Let's do the fire ones next. Six. More epics. Stop giving me the pizza slices. Give me epic runes. There we go. 9. Ooh, we only got 9. We'll run 30 of these in the background. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. I always learn something new here. Glad it helps, buddy. Glad it helps. Is Conqueror Lilius any good in the current meta? Should I get her? Yeah, actually, she, I think you can see it from here. Under match history. Damn, they need dark mode. Hero analysis. Right, this is people. Let's see. Here we go. Search hero. Conqueror Lilius. She had a 50% win rate, and she was the 73rd most picked hero. So she wasn't picked very often, but when she was picked, in Masters, she had a 73% win rate. In Champion, she had a 51% win rate, and she was picked a little bit less often in Champion. Emperors picked her a lot more often and won a lot more with her. And up in Legend picked her a ton, and look at the win rate in Legend. So it looks like the more competitive the games got, the higher up on the tier list you went, the more she was picked and the better she was. But you know, down in the lower end, she wasn't picked nearly as much as at the top end. So looks like she's pretty good for a very high end unit, and anything with over a 50% win rate is crazy. Now this doesn't mean that she's the reason for the win, but on teams where she was picked, those teams won 50% of the time. We can go down and look at additional stuff too. She was first picked on those teams more often than not. She was very rarely put in the third pick ban protection spot. She was very commonly banned when she was first picked. And it shows you, like, it looked like she was really weak against these units. They looked at the fights that she lost and picked the top units and the most common units in the fights that she lost. And in the fights that she won, it picked the most common units that she won with. Big surprise to the same goddamn units, except for Landy and Harsetti. It's almost like BBK and Celine are kind of strong right now. So this GG site is loaded with really, really good information like this. If you don't mind getting flashbanged, you can find that just by clicking match history inside of the World Arena button. There's a wealth of information in there. I do have the dark extension, the dark reader extension for my browser, but I don't have it installed on LD Player. And when you go to something directly out of the game, it bypasses most of the extensions. But yeah, you want to hurt your eyes, keep your eyes from getting hurt. You can go to the same site here on a browser that's got Dark Reader activated. And you can also You can also look at your own statistics and see, see how you did last season, see what your, pursuit season, what contention season was last season. And you can see your win rate. I had a 70% win rate, but I didn't play a shit ton of games. The teams that, won best for me, who my favorite units were, who I pre-banned, who I picked. You can kind of look at your history, and it's nice because you can look back and see who you lost against and kind of analyze it and go, oh, okay. And you can do that for your current season too, if you actually have some current season fights, but I have not done any RTA this season. But it's a nice way to kind of look back and see who you fought, who you won, who you lost, especially if you're getting together with a coach who's going to train you on how to be better at RTA. They'll want to see this data, and they'll look at it with you, and they'll say, okay, what did you do wrong in this fight? And then they'll try to guide you into it to try to teach you how to learn how to play RTA better. So the GG site's really nice for that kind of information. Okay, guys, it's getting late, so let's burst through this tier list that we've been talking about and not doing for a while now. Let's see. Hero tier list. Yes, yes, yes. Go away, Ras. And we'll call this a MLPVE tier list. I guess the big question we've got right now, guys, right, is do we consider Arena and Guild Wars PVE or PvP? What do you think? Do we consider Arena and Guild Wars PvP or PvE? See, already, the first two comments, one says PvE, one says PvP. There's contention on it, right? How about we just do this? Good in Arena and / or Guild Wars. We just have a separate column for it. Then we got SABC for everything else. That sound fair? That'll let people look at it both ways. If they don't consider Arena or Guild Wars as PvE, then they just look at the bottom 4 rows. And if they do, then they can look at the top row too. So let's filter. Let's look at only light and dark and only 5 and 4 stars. I'm not going to bother with 3 stars. Oh my gosh. So I think, is there a place in PvE where we use Euphine? The only place I can think of is she is really good at fighting the Devourer Arahakan. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, Devourer Arahakan, she's really good there, but she's wholly replaceable by a half dozen other units, right? From Landy to Zerato, there's a lot of units that could go in her place. But her main thrust is, I can't spell Arena. I still can't spell Arena. Her main thrust is Arena Guild Wars, right? But we'll give her a shout out, right? We'll give her a shout out for her use in Nightmare Raid. You use her in A13, I can see that. He is only usable on a very specific cheese for fighting Nightmare Raid, Queen, and that is pretty much it. Anybody else got another use for Our Lord Ainz Ulgon in PvE? Oh, and to be clear, let's just spell this out. I hate the SABC, right? This is, top PvE uses. Solid and diverse uses. This is niche uses. This is not a damn thing. Clear? Ambitious Tywin is really only used in Guild Wars and Arena. Now, some say, oh, but you can use them to, you know, some floors of Abyss where you're dealing with debuffs, and yeah, those are some. He would go down here beside, if you don't consider good in Arena or Guild Wars as a thing, then he would go down here under niche uses. Apoc Ravi. Not a damn thing you can do with Apoc Ravi in PvE. She's strictly a PvP unit. Outside of, like, she can carry you through some fights because she can bring you back from the dead and she can bruise. It's really early game stuff, but no, not really. Not really using her. Arby's got some niche uses in the sense that he is a good farming unit. I would have put him up here as the premier farming unit, except that Free Spirit Tieria kind of took most of his jobs. Hey, Skate! Thank you so much for the sub, buddy. I appreciate it. Niche as in good niche or bad niche? Niche as in the one or two places where they're good, they're really good, but it's only one or two places, and you would probably want to focus on units that are viable in more places than just the occasional niche spots that these ones are good in, right? Archdemon Shadow, not a damn use for her in PvE. Architect Leica, not a damn use for her in PvE. Astromancer Elena. Is there anywhere where counters are a problem in PvE? Because I can't think of any. Possibly, maybe like there's an Abyss floor that that's not jumping in my head where you get, you know, constantly countered, and having that shut off would be nice, but I'm thinking that she is not usable at all. Bellion is a defense unit. You'll almost never use her on offense, but if you've got a Guild War defense or Arena defense, yeah, she's really, really good there. Haste, Haste is really good on some Guild War defenses, but that's about it. In a post-Harsetti meta, we're not seeing as much of him, but his PvE uses. He does have the one niche of being a safety net. Any unit that can bring your whole ass team back to life, as well as be a healer and a damage dealer, is pretty good, but so niche as to not even be considered, right? I think he's Guild War only. Briarwitch Asaria, there was a time when she was up here. There was a time when having her on your team meant that Vera couldn't rehatch the eggs, meant that monsters couldn't bring back the ads when they pushed phases, meant that on one fight where the mushrooms exploded in the Abyss, the mushrooms never came back again. But that has all been patched, and that dropped her PvE usage down to nothing. She's pretty good on some offenses, but that's pretty much it. Charles has a very, very small niche use, only slightly better niche use than Ainz in, not even, you know, slightly worse than Ainz. He's really good in A13, and that's it. Commander Pavel is a, I'm gonna put him at the front of niche uses because his job is being a cleanup to combine with Tieria or Arby. And that's pretty much it for just doing rapid, fast farming. Conqueror Lilius, there was a time when she was here, but now I think she's just down here. Having a unit that can give vigor to your entire team and dual attack randomly is fan-freaking-tastic. She's really, really good in Wyvern. She's good on a lot of Abyss floors. She used to be the queen of Hall of Trials, but they've redone Hall of Trials now, and now she doesn't see any use there anymore because Hall of Trials says you can't dual attack anymore. So that's dropped her down to just a solid diverse unit, I think. Dark Corvus is only a Guild War unit. He's not used anywhere else. Death Dealer Ray has no uses down here, so he's just a Guild War and Arena unit. Desert Jewel Basar. I can't think of anything you would use Desert Jewel Basar for in PvE. Other than the occasional niche Abyss floor where you might need the cleanse and the push and the healing, but that's so niche as to not even be considered a niche use. It's like a one and done kind of niche thing, right? Designer Lilibet, same thing. She's just an offensive version, a damage version of DJ Basar. Senya. If you have her, she's on your defense somewhere, either in Guild Wars or Arena. She's like the strongest, one of the strongest ML5s in the game right now. So, yeah. Dragon King Sharoon. While a very strong unit to counter this guy, that's pretty much it. And if I'm not going to put these units to counter this guy, I'm not going to put this unit to counter this guy. These guys. So, yeah. Nope. Ilanov's a defense unit and an offense unit for Guild Wars and Arena, but doesn't have any uses outside of it. Ludwig is a pretty strong unit if you can build him for Guild War offense, but that's pretty much it. Faithless Lidica is not really used anywhere. She can be used for fighting the Queen, but there's so many easier ways to do it with easier builds. Fallen Cecilia is not usable. Harsetti is a defense unit. Judge Kisei. It's very hard to build for new players, and by the time you get to the point where you can build her, you've just got better options. Last Rider Crow. We'll have to see if after his buff this changes, but for right now, I don't think he's got any PvE uses. Lionheart Sirmia, I'm going to put her... She can solo Katie's 13. Does Lionheart Sirmia have any uses other than soloing Katie's 13? Labyrinth, you're right. She's really, really good against Nightmare Queen. So, since she's got more than one use, we'll put her up here in diverse uses. Little Queen Charlotte is not a real unit in PvE. Bologna is a very solid unit in PvE, I think. You can use her in Nightmare Raid, any fight where you've got a lot of incoming damage, a lot of Abyss floors. She's even a component of some auto teams. I think she's definitely a solid unit. I would be remiss if I didn't put Maid in the niche uses, because in PvE, a lot of times survival is important, and any unit that lets you bring your entire team back to life, give them all attack buff, give the living units raise buff, cleanses all debuffs, and can stun on her S3 40% or S1 40% of the time, you're going to find uses for that. Though she is not going to see common use in things like Banshee 13 or anything like that. I think as you're pushing through Abyss, as new content comes out, she's a good reach for unit. This one's tricky. Mort could totally change and throw this guy down here. But right now, I think he's still pretty good for Guild Wars and for Arena. Mediator Queric is one of the better PvE units. Full cleanse, CR pushing, strip, attack down, tankiness, immunity, attack buff. It's a Soul Weaver in a warrior's kit with access to warrior artifacts. Every time new PvE comes out, the only time you don't see this guy in play is when we've got Laia available. I think he is ahead of Lilius. We'll see if I move these two up or not, but him and Lilius are kind of tied, I think, for high end right now. Landy is just used everywhere. If you get Landy, you build her. She's used in Guild Wars, she's used in Arena, she is used in Labyrinth, she can be used to solo auto tower, she can be used in Abyss floors. Powerhouse unit. Luna's a Guild War Arena unit. She doesn't really have any use outside of Guild War Arena. Sigrid, it's not a real unit. Captain Flan had a chance. She had a chance, but she's garbage now. And Remnant Violet is Very, very hard to use. Requiem Rowana. One could argue she's a defense unit, but her defense is so niche. I don't know. I guess we'll just put her at the back of the list. We'll put her near the front of the list, right? We're going to organize these a little bit. I guess we should get real with organization. That feels a little better with organization. Ruel's getting a buff. For right now, she's right beside Maid in the sense that having a unit that can safety net and raise you is very, very useful. Sage Ball is counter cleave and nobody cleaves anymore, so Ball's kind of out of a job. Sea Phantom Politis. We'll put her ahead of Conqueror Lilius because she does give a boosting skill up like Vigor, but hers is Rage. Rage activates Tywin, but being able to dual attack with the highest attack unit on the team gives her some uses inside of PVE. Silverblade Aramentha. Currently here, post buff might be here. But we're running this based on current, not post buff. So for right now down here, but I do think we're going to see her on defenses coming up. I think she is going to be basically right here beside DDR, maybe even ahead of DDR after the balance patch. I think this is what's going to look like after the balance patch, but we don't know for sure until the balance patch happens, so we're just going off of what's known, and what's known is this. Solitaria really doesn't have many uses in PvE. Can anybody give me a good Solitaria use in PvE? Because I can't really think of one. She's nice on Guild War offense, but even that's kind of niche. And if I'm going to put it up here, they got to be solid, defense or solid offense use. Yeah, she's really cute. We'll put her down here pretty close to the front. Sez is not really a usable unit. I mean, Sez and Solly together can do some things, but yeah. Spectre Tenebria, most important PvE unit in the game, bar none. If you look at if you Google Abyss floor random number, one of the teams on the YouTube feed is going to have Spectre Tenebria on it. She's still the queen of PvE. Stretch. Thanks for the stretch. Celine. I don't think she's a usable unit. I know she brings everybody back from the dead like these two do, so maybe you could find some uses for her, but I just can't think of any right off the bat where she would be a better pickup than these two. Oh, wow. How the Mighty Have Fallen used to be the most important hunt unit because you could one-shot hunts. You'd one-shot all the hunts with strays. He was a monster, but then something happened. Rift came out, and Strays is terrible in Rift. Like, as in he can't even be selected because he's an ML unit, so you can't even use him in Rift, and Rift is just better than Hunts in every way. And if you have the gear to make a Strays that can one-shot things, then why are you even doing Hunts? Why aren't you just gearing for Rift? Now, when Rift goes away and we're in between seasons and all you have is Hunts, his value shoots back up. But I'm going to put him down here in niche uses, because his niche use is if you can build him and you have a reason to farm Hunts, and you aren't just going to use quick battle or background battling, and you're wanting to crank out Hunts on a weekend, and you can build him, it's a lot of freaking conditions, then Strays is niche useful. And I'll get some pushback on this, because everyone's like, every single one-shot guide you put out there uses Strays. I'm like, yeah, that was all in a pre-Rift, pre-quick battle world. Now his values drop down to almost just flexing at this point. Sylvan Sage Vivian is a solid unit. I have seen sometimes her on defense, but she's mostly an RTA unit, and that's pretty much it. Top model Lulika is an RTA unit, not really used. Kayron is There was a time when he was arena viable, but that time is going away, especially with the advent of Mort. This is an RTA unit, occasional Guild War offense teams, but not enough to warrant being placed on the tier list. Zeo is, Zeo I think is worthy in Arena and Guild Wars, especially with Harsetti to be up in the Guild War meta. Not a lot of other PvE uses for Zeo. Angel of Light Angelica has some niche uses. She can be used to one of the easiest ways to beat the Hell Queen. If you're going for a Nightmare Hell Queen team and you don't want to do the auto team, Angel of Light Angelica is a must-have unit for that. Cartusia is not a real unit. Sid is not a real unit. Kali's not a real unit. Alots used to be up here, but they're nerfing him, and now he's not going to be usable anywhere in the game. Bad Cat Armin's not usable. Broman is got some defense uses. Blaze Dingo. I'm going to put Blaze Dingo down here in the niche uses, and the reason why is Blaze Dingo is one of the only solo carry units for friendship farming and pushing stages where your damage carries from stage to stage. Dingo can heal your team and give defense breaks, so he's actually one of the better farming units for a lot of these side story events where your damage carries over stage to stage. He can help keep you healthy. So I do think he does have some niche uses, but it's a really tiny-ass niche. BBK is one of the best Guild War defense and offense units, best units in the game. I would come close to say she is the meta. She is the best unit in the game right now. I've used her to clear the ads on Golem and on A13 to you know, help set up my one-shots, so she does have some uses outside of it. You can use her to solo auto tower. You turn her skills off and just let her S1 everything to death. It's not fast, but it's kind of hilarious. Celestial Mercedes, not a real unit. CDOM. There's a weird niche use, and I'll put her right beside Ainz, because CDOM can be used to cheese the Queen, to one-shot the Nightmare Queen with CDOM, and I just gotta have them together because Ainz needs to have a job, and it's a funny job, so we'll leave them on here, but really, these two, that's the only place they're used, is in that Nightmare cheese. In good conscience, with what I've said about some of these units, I should move both of them down, but it's just such a fun combo, and I love CDOM and I love Ainz, so I'm putting them on the list. Go make your own list if you don't like it. Champion Zerato is still a very solid, diverse unit. He is good in Labyrinth, he's good in A13. You will find uses for him early on. He's wholly replaceable as you get to higher levels, but there are so many things in PvE that throw debuffs at you that a self-healing unit that counterattacks on debuff is always going to find uses. Crescent Moon Rin has one use and one use only, and that's to steal the counterattack buff so you can do the Euphine Labyrinth. It's a singular cheese, but it's an important one because ancient coins give you access to charms, and everybody wants that. Crimson Armin.
I can pity Harsetti. Should I get her or wait for a better ML? I don't know if I want to regear all of my units for her.
Well, you don't regear all of your units for her, you regear 3 units for her. And you run those 3 units with her, and then everybody else you don't regear unless you're wanting to regear units to deal with her, and you'll have to regear those anyway. So, if you want to have higher win rates in Arena and higher defend rates in Guild Wars, then pick her up. Those are her only uses in the game. Nobody is ever letting that unit see the inside of RTA, and she really doesn't have uses in PvE. And I know, there's a video out there showing her handling all of the hunts, but they're slow and cumbersome, and you may as well use, like, free-to-play guides to build, like, low-gear stuff to do the exact same thing without Harsetti. It's kind of forcing it.
Quickly, you filthy liar, Madge.
What? Oh... yeah, her voice lines. Yeah, I'll end this quickly. And that's Green Armin, isn't it? Or Crimson Armin. Yeah, I'll end this quickly, and then she lets the fight last forever. But yeah, that's really it. If you want to pick up Harsetti for a better arena defense and a better Guild War defense, you do you. There's occasions where she can be used on Guild War offense, but that's it. You're never going to use this girl in offense in arena. You're never going to use this girl in offense in RTA because no one's ever going to let you get her through. She's either going to be pre-banned or post-banned. No one's ever letting you have her unless they're idiots. So it's the Bellion syndrome, right? Bellion would be the strongest unit in the game if anybody let her through. Nobody lets her through. So other than Guild War offense, you're not going to play her. But if, you know, I love my Harsetti because she gives me really high scores in arena. She lets me sit in Emperor just playing 4 or 5 fights a day. I don't have to try to climb. I can screw around like I did today, losing fights left and right, doesn't matter. I sit in Emperor because I'm sitting in Emperor 3 because I got a 35% win rate. And people try to not attack me because my defense looks scary as fuck. So that's kind of nice. In Guild Wars, it lets me be in the, in Guild Wars, it lets me be in the main castle. Because she's hard as hell to beat, and my gear on her's pretty good. But offense-wise, man, I just don't use her. Like, at all. I think I've used her 3 times on offense since she's come out on 3 Guild War offenses. So, yeah, you got to decide if you want to, if that improves your game, if having her on your defenses will make your game a better experience for you. And if that's the case, then go ahead and pick her up. If that's not the case, wait for the next ML. Wait for something you like better. Man, if you guys want to find good Guild War defenses, just do this. Type in Tribbles Guild War into any Google search bar and go into the very first link and look at the defenses that are out there. And you can tell it to search for a defense that uses Harsetti. Tell it to search. And here's all the defenses people use with Harsetti and how often they win. I mean, look how often they win. Those are crazy win rates for Guild Wars. Guild Wars, basically a solved mode of fighting. So pick one that looks like one you can build, where you can build the gear and the units really, really, really well. I mean, mine's Senya BBK, which, does that even show on here?
Beside way to deal with Harsetti GW defense teams is Survivor until turn 100 and call for a draw.
So, you know, just this site's really nice for crafting defenses. You want to just refresh the site. You want to find a you just got your Dragon Bride Senya and you're like, I want to build a Guild War defense with Dragon Bride Senya. What do I got? 16, ooh, 25% win rate. Hey, I've got Landy and Conqueror Lilius. I thought they said Conqueror Lilius was bad now, but look at this. Now this one's 25%. This one's only 20%, but look how time tested this one is. This one's seen 11,000 people fight against it. Maybe this is a little bit better. So, you know, just look through and find defenses that you like. So this is a really nice site for helping you guys figure out what a good defense is. Now, just because it says 25% win rate doesn't mean that yours is going to have a 25% win rate. Maybe this is a 25% win rate because these 200 people were running an injury Landy, and these 700 people were running a standard Landy. Right? Maybe it's because these people all had 3F and you don't have 3F. Maybe this is because it was a slow Conqueror Lilius with like 30k health and 300 effectiveness. Or maybe it was a 350 speed Conqueror Lilius with no effectiveness. You're going to have to play with your builds and find a way to... Oh yeah, and if Bride's everywhere, right? You don't have Bride. Let's do this again. You can you can go down here and say, hey, I need to find a Harsetti defense that does not have Dragon Bride Senya. And it'll show you all of the Harsetti defenses that don't have Dragon Bride Senya. It's a really nice tool for crafting it. So anyway, for those who need the link, I just posted it there for YouTube. Here you go on... Now there is one other thing in this, guys. There's one other thing here. And be careful using this. There's a how to beat the defense you're going against. So if you're facing down a defense that's got Genua and Polydus and I don't know, Landy, and you click search, it's going to show you the most popular ways to beat that offense. And this is a great way to play Guild Wars and not have to think. But Guild Wars and Arena are kind of a training simulator for getting better at PvP. And if you have designs one day of doing RTA, even if it's just to dabble in it enough to get to Masters to get the skin, you're going to want to learn unit interactions. You're going to want to learn team synergy. You're going to want to learn how to build these teams, both 3-man for Guild Wars and 4-man for Arena, because that's going to teach you 2 different kinds of synergies, because you never know what's going to get banned, and sometimes the way things are drafted, whoever they pick, you might be only really running 3 people in a cheerleader. So it's good to learn these synergies, and it's important. So use this with caution. Use this. Best recommendation I got is figure out how to beat it on your own, and then go to Fribbles and see if Fribbles agree with you. And if you came up with a Karena, Elvira, Singelica team, and you go into Fribbles and you go, yeah, look at that. Though this one was used more often, my team was a higher success rate. I'm a freaking genius. But if you came in here and you came up with, I don't know, Shu, Senya, Singelica, and then you saw this one and you're like, yeah, you know what? Elvira might be better because my Karena can carry, and Elvira means Landy's never going to throw her boat. So that's actually better. And you can actually use it to help train and learn better. I only recommend going here as a way to reinforce what you learned, train yourself to do it better, or if you just hit a wall and you've been staring at the screen for like 10 minutes and you just want to be done, you want to get Guild Wars out of the way so you can go on with your life, then yeah, go ahead and use it to figure one out that you were just hard stuck on, but then look at the comps and go, oh, I see how this is working. I see what he's doing here. I get it. You know, this will stop the counter attacks, and Ram puts defense break, and then she can soul burn and nuke everything, and then her stuns. I see what they're doing. And that way you'll learn from it. But try to use this as a tool to teach yourself, because even if you don't ever plan to play RTA like all the damn time, a skin's going to drop. A skin's going to drop that looks so amazing that you're going to want to play RTA just to get to Masters so you can get that skin. And you're going to be going in there without any knowledge of unit interactions. So be really careful about using this Fribbles site. That's all I got to say. So hopefully this helps you guys out with your defenses and offenses. Boy, did we get sidetracked there. Okay, I want to talk about Crimson Armin last because I'm annoyed by her. Fighter Maya, not a real unit. There is one... it's almost as niche as the Ainz version. There's one version where Fighter Maya one-shots, but God, it's so painful to do it. I just don't recommend it. Free Spirit Tierra is the best PvE unit out there because she lets you auto-farm Gracefield and Eulogy for a Saint for gold, and Charms. She lets you auto-farm Unrecorded History for catalysts and gold. She lets you farm and clear through a lot of story. She is integral to a Banshee 13 one-shot. She's integral to a clearing your adventure. She's usable in just about every floor of Abyss. You know what? I don't even think it's arguable anymore. She has supplanted Spectre Tenebria as the queen of PvE. And she's free! General Purgus has one niche use left, and that is as a Wyvern 13 frontline, and that use has been completely eliminated by having Mui on the team, so it's hard to even mention him down here. As soon as you get Mui, this guy goes down here. Right? You gotta be the luckiest unlucky person in the world to have G-Perg before you have Mui. I think Deity, on Deity's new account when he was trying to build his Wyvern team, he got like 2 or 3 General Purguses and never got Mui, and that's kind of hilarious in how ridiculously backwards it is. So I'll leave him here, right? Great Chief Kwana has one use, and that is making C13 easier to farm, and she goes away as soon as you get half a dozen other units, but we'll go ahead and leave her in here for... She's kind of like in the position of General Purgus. Once you get a different unit, she's completely replaceable. Guider Aether really has no use anymore, which is sad. Inferno Kawazu really has no use in PvE anymore. She is niche usable on arena defenses. Kitty Clarissa is always going to have uses in PvE, although most of those have slid down to just Abyss right now. Her biggest use was right here with Conqueror Lilies for in Hall of Trials, but she is a unit who dual attacks with the highest attack unit, much like Sea Phantom Politis. She's got a strip on her S2, she's got a cleanse on her S3. I think you will find uses for her, and it's always worth having a kitty in your back pocket. Last piece, Corinne's not usable in PvE. Dominial used to be pretty popular on Guild War defenses, but she's fallen off. Furious, maybe after his buff, we'll see some use. Right now, he's probably the worst 4-star in the game, right beside Leo, who is also the worst 4-star in the game. Shadow Rose has got one use, and it's really, really good, and that's in Banshee 13 one-shot. She doesn't really have any other uses in the game, but she makes Banshee 13 one-shot 98% success rate, which is as close as to 100% you can get without being on endgame gear. Shooting Star Arcades, we'll put right down here beside Crescent Moon Rin, right? Her only real use is in setting up the Labyrinth cheese with Euphine to get ancient coins. Sinful Angelica, I think Sinful Angelica, I think she might be a top PvE use, guys. An attack buff with raise block, so many Guild War offense uses, especially against meta units like Janua, and she is in just about every Wyvern one-shot video that's out there, and she is got a dual attack with the highest attack unit. She's going to be useful in a lot of Abyss floors. I think it's safe to put her up here in top PvE uses. You get a I like her so much, I have 3 of them built. No cap, 3 of them built for various uses. 1 for PvE and the other 2 for Guild Wars, and the reason I have 2 for Guild Wars is in case one dies, I have a backup. That's how good she is. Tempest Surin's not really usable right now. Troublemaker Crozet. I can't think of any PvE usage where Crozet is meta. He's good, but is he really any better than any other knight? Yeah, I don't think so. Divines will be mad at me, but I don't think Crozet has a place. Sid definitely doesn't have a place. Watcher Shuri. Watcher Shuri for one-shots. Right? For speed tuning and damage on one-shots. And that's pretty much it. Wanderer Silk, dual attacks with the highest attack unit and CR manipulates. She is actually really, really good in a lot of PvE. She can help you tune your one-shots for Golem and for Asmanic. And you can CR push back the enemy to control them in Abyss. And she's a nice speed imprint. Oh, Armin. What do we do with Armin? She used to be all over Guild War defenses, but not so much anymore.
Crozet and bad divine will never recover.
Right. Okay, we had one shout out for Inferno Kawazu for Ancient Inheritance. That's a niche use that only happens once every 3 to 5 months. And that's pretty much it. I just don't think that's enough to consider. I'm not considering Ancient Inheritance for general use PvE. It's too few and far between. Crimson Armin, though. There's a time when she was on just about every arena defense, but the meta has shifted into a Harsetti world and to an Ilanov world where her uses have fallen away quite a bit there. And as for PvE, there are some abyss floors where she can keep you going when you normally would be dead, but I don't think there's any real place for her in PvE anymore, guys. Not really. So there you go. I think that's about it, guys. You will notice the vast majority of 4-star units are not usable in PvE. Sorry. You'll notice the vast majority of ML4 and ML5 units are not usable in PvE, and if you consider Guild Wars and Arena PvP, it's the vast majority of them. Why is that? Because ML5 and ML4 units are by nature designed for PvP. It's by intention. When a unit is usable in PvE, it's almost always an accident, right? It's like this guy was designed for RTA and Guild Wars and Arena. He just found some niche uses as a cleanup farmer. This guy was designed for PvP. We just figured out how to one-shot with them. This girl was designed for PvP. We just figured out we could strip the Nightmare Queen with her. Even Shadow Rose was designed initially. Back in the day, she was the opener. If you didn't have Shadow Rose, you didn't get to complete in Arena. She was designed for that. Now she's only used in PvE because the meta's moved past her. So a lot of these are has-beens, right? Used to be meta in PvP. 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 Not really, but kinda. And then we just found uses in PvE for them because they got power crept out of PvP. But pound for pound, you're going to notice a theme that when ML units come out, ML units are designed for player versus player. RGB units usually find their place in PvE more. It's very rare that we get a unit that's clearly the initial intent and design was for PvE. And looking at this list, I only see 2. And that's Free Spirit Tierra and Kitty Clarissa. I think those are the only units that came out that were ML, where their entire design, entire niche was centered around being used in PvE. I guess Great Chief Kawana was kind of designed for Katie's 13. She came out after Katie's came out and everybody complained about how hard it was, and they clearly made her for Katie. So I guess 3 units that are just designed only for PvE. All the other units were initially designed with PvP in mind. We just found ways to use them in PvE. But there you go. For those of you who are not into any form of PvP at all and are looking for what 4 stars might be useful for you, here you go. I hope that helps you guys out. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care, Epic 7. Thanks for helping me make a video, guys. You rock. I like Ricardo against Candy, Senya, Celine, and some others. Yeah, there are some really nice niche Guild War offenses where Ricardo can take it out.
On the 24.
Nope, not pre-patch. Let me tell you, a lot of these are going to move around based on the patch, but we have to see how that patch does. Maybe we revisit this and see how much has changed as a result of the patch, right? How much, you know, how much ML. I bet ML Ken falls completely off. I bet Silverblade Aramentha shoots to the frickin' top of the list. We'll have to see. But that's going to require some testing, and I am not. There are so many things changing. All of us are looking at these things going, oh, Mort looks amazing, Silverblade looks pretty good, but we're not considering the interactions between the units, and there's some synergies we might be missing. How good this unit's going to work with that unit, how well they're going to fit into a Harsetti meta, how well they're going to fit into a Luna meta. We want to see how all this works out and how they work together before I start committing to it, because there's always surprises, right? The best of us thought Abyssal Euphine was a dog water unit, and we were recommending people skip her and calling on Smilegate to buff her. because her kit looks so bad. We said the same thing about Karena. We thought Karena was absolutely useless. We complained and said, why'd you save the worst for last when you ran all 4 of the units and Karena was the worst of the 4, the worst of the Espa units. She wasn't anywhere near as good as Ning Ning or Winter. It's crazy. We all thought Giselle was one of the best of the Espa girls. So a lot of times we're very wrong. Remember, remember what happened when I told people this unit did not need a buff? I had a 68% dislike to like ratio on my video. I took so much heat for saying, Albedo's fine, she doesn't need a buff. The amount of people like, nah fam, you're off your rocker, this girl's terrible, unusable unit. Can you imagine what life would be like right now if Albedo had gotten buffed? Oh my god. But it took it took like a solid 2 months before people started seeing how good she was. And then she got used in World Cup. I loved every time she got drafted in World Cup, I was in the chat saying, why did he pick Albedo? Doesn't she need a buff? So yeah. You can't always trust the initial reactions. A lot of it we have to actually see the unit and play and decide whether or not it's going to be good. How likely is it that we're going to get a new ML5 after the next rerun that was already announced? You mean, after this? We'll get this for 3 weeks. This will go on until November 6th, and then on November 7th, we will probably get a new ML5, right? That's usually the pattern. You can go over to Cecilia bot timeline, and you can look at the patterns, right? New unit, sorry, four reruns, new unit. Rerun, new unit. Now here's one of the weird ones where we got a special Mystic Summon, but it was still basically a rerun, new unit. Rerun, new unit. Rerun, new unit. Rerun of the 4-star. Rerun, and here's one of the weird ones where we got 2 reruns, 3 reruns, but this is where they were stalling to line everything up for anniversary. New unit. Rerun, new unit. Rerun, new unit. Rerun, new unit. So yeah, it's like 3 weeks of new unit, 3 weeks of rerun, 3 weeks of new unit, 3 weeks of rerun. So if you go by this pattern, which is pretty heckin' consistent all the way back into 2023, pretty heckin' consistent, we should have 3 weeks of these guys and then a new unit. And safe money. Smilegate might subvert expectations, but the word on the street is the next new unit's going to be ML Hua Young. That's the rumor around the water cooler. I can't confirm or deny it, but that's what people are saying. ML Hua Young, 3 weeks after this, and so 3 weeks. This will go away on November 6th, so November 7th, theoretically. Unless they extend it like they did that one time. Theoretically, November 7th should be the next new ML5. How to build ML Senya without 3F Arius. Arius ML Senya is terrifying to deal with. Please keep her a redhead, Smilegate. Yeah, right. We need more OP redheads. Why do we need more OP redheads? If you have to ask that question, then I just don't even know how to talk to you anymore. How am I doing on my my charms? Really? All of this? We've done 23 runs and I've only gotten 908. Killing me, Smalls. Farm better. Do they always run RGB imprint with the new ML5? No. But that's been pretty common. Oops. Let's see. New ML5 was Sharoon, and I don't see Sharoon down here anywhere. Although we did have a custom, technically you could pick Sharoon. Here we have Polydus. I don't see Politis anywhere down here. Here we had Senya. I don't see Senya anywhere around here. Here we had Luna. And you could have custom summoned Luna, so kinda. Here we had Ilanov. I don't see Ilanov anywhere. Yeah. Typically, no. Typically, no, it doesn't look like. Now, what I can't see is what 5 stars were on the banner with Senya. But I don't think I've ever seen it where Senya is on Sea Phantom Politis is on banner, and then Fire Politis is one of the subunits. I don't think I've ever seen that where they double up like that. How long before they release our ML5s announced? Typically 1 to 2 weeks. Typically 1 to 2 weeks before they come out. They want you to spend money on these before they say, look what's coming next. So yeah, usually the announcement is at the end of week 2 or beginning of week 3. It just depends when this falls, because they want to get the information out to the public before they have to upload it to the server, and then the data miners spoil it. So whether it's 1 to 2 weeks depends on whether this happens on a maintenance day or in between maintenance days. Do you know when we will get the headhunt approximately? This is what I was looking for. Looks like it happened November 23rd last year, so I would say probably the end of November. But here it started at the end of October. So this is the big question, right? When do they do this? If they do it later, like if they did this here, you would not be able to get Senya. But if they did this on the November date, you would be able to get Senya. So who you can pick, you actually kind of you kind of want it to be as late as possible if you're looking for the Senya unit. Likely no headhunt. I think there will be a headhunt, Kiro. What does headhunt do for Smilegate? What are the benefits of headhunt for Smilegate? Every single day, you're going to log in every single day to do your headhunt summon, just to fill the bubble in. Even if it's just for that, every single day, you're going to log in to work towards getting your 5-star. Because if you miss a day, it's just that much longer to get your 5-star. And if you miss too many days, then you might never get your 5-star. It gets you to log in every single day. And that is the single most important thing to any gacha game, is getting the players to open up the app and push the button. It gets you in the habit of every day you log in. Every day you log in and you get the pop-up message that says, look what's coming next. And then you close that in the pop-up message, hey, want to buy this pack? And then the pop-up message says, hey, click on these things to collect your rewards. And then another pop-up message says, hey, now that you collected that reward, look what's in the shop. It lets them every day force the advertisements on you, get you pushing buttons, get you playing the games, and more importantly, it keeps the habit alive. When does Headhunt happen? Headhunt happens November, December, January. What are the times when most people's lives get turned up on end as far as scheduling goes? They're out of work, they're out of school, they have travel, they have family obligations, their sleep patterns change. suddenly they're not playing the game because they're doing things that are not the game. So maybe they don't log in every day. And once you don't log in every day for 2 weeks, 2 weeks, right? Average time to break a habit. Look at that. It's like 2 to 3 weeks is when habits start being broken. I always was told it was 2. I was always told it was 2 weeks, but 18 days. I mean, they're talking about addictive habits here, like, quitting smoking and getting off alcohol, right? But how long does Christmas break last again, guys? How long are people usually on vacation and on holidays across Christmas and New Year's? 3 weeks? Huh. How about that? Smilegate doesn't want you to break the habit of logging in. They want you to log in every single day. They want to keep you in the game, because as long as you're in the game, you've got the potential to be a spender. You're still engaged with it. It's part of your daily routine, and they want to maintain that. It is maximum value, all for the cost of giving everybody one ML5 unit, which everyone loves. Not only are they keeping you in the game, they're keeping you in the game to do something you're excited for, something you're hyped for. You're finally getting that ML5 of your choice, and you're working for it, and you're like, oh, it wasn't there. Oh, now it is. Now I just have to wait a few more days. It keeps the hype going, and we got the triple threat of Cyber Monday, Black Friday, people getting their Christmas money, people celebrating New Year, New Me. This is my anime training arc. I'm finally going to get Legend this year, whatever. It's a time when people a lot of times have a little bit of extra discretionary money, and people have a lot of extra discretionary time. So there is every single reason for Smilegate to do this. Plus, it's happened 2 years in a row. If they didn't do it, if they just said, yeah, we're not doing that this year, the community would lose their shit. I mean, let's be real. The community would be pretty upset with them about it. Be like, why are you not doing this thing that everybody loves? Especially when it's so beneficial to Smilegate as a company. So yeah, I would take it to the bank that Headhunt is either happening or is going to be replaced with something even better. Something that does the same thing, but maybe is a little bit better rewards. Because, Headhunt does have a small issue right now of... Excuse me. Headhunt does have a small issue right now of... There's only 30 heroes, and then you can refresh, and we're up to what now, like 45 ML5s right now, so they might, like, add a row. They might do something that makes it a little bit easier to get the hero you want. Because we're getting to the point where it's theoretically possible, with a little bit of really, really bad luck, you could possibly not get the hero you're fishing for. It's still incredibly unlikely if you do this every single day, but I would say like maybe a 1 or 2% chance you don't get the specific hero you're fishing for. So maybe they improve it. I don't know. But for those who ask what Headhunt is, it's effectively a Moonlight Selector, where every day you click and you fill in these dots, right? You can do one a day. And if you get... let me find a better picture for you. Oops. I just closed that window. So, every day... you start filling in these, cute. Every day you start filling in these things, right? And if it's a dupe, right? Here is Briarwitch Assaria, and on this day he pulled a Briarwitch Assaria and it put this recycle button on it. And you can spend another 800 stamina to recycle this and change it to somebody who is not Briarwitch Assaria. And he can recycle these into somebody who's not Specimen Says. And you'll eventually get to the point where you've pulled 10, 20 units, and this is the hero recruitment day. And once you get to this day is uncovered, you can click the recruit button, and for 2400 currency, you can select any of the units that you've uncovered. And if you're here and you still haven't uncovered the unit that you want, you can keep summoning for another 10. So now you've got 30 of the 45 units uncovered, and you've refreshed them all. So it's 30 unique and different of the 45 units completely uncovered. And then this last day, see this infinity symbol on it? You can infinitely refresh it. So if it's a dupe, you can refresh it. It'll be somebody who's not a dupe. If it's still not the one you want, you can refresh it again for another 800. Refresh it again for another 800. And you'll be able to keep refreshing it until you get the unit you want, and then bang, you can recruit it. And since this event lasts 90 days, and this is only day 30, you can basically sit here and refresh this for the next 60 days as you earn currency. And you earn currency by playing the game, by doing the weekly rewards, by spending stamina, things like that. And it's a labor-intensive way to get a guaranteed ML5 of your choice, and it's usually ML5s released 6 months earlier than the start of the event and further back. You can't get the most recent ones. So based on when this usually comes out, if it comes out the same time it came out in 2023, you should be able to get Senya, but not Luna. If it comes out the same time it came out in 2022, then you won't be able to get Senya, but you should be able to get the unit prior to Senya. It was what? Dragon King Shroon? And that's basically how it works. And once you run out of, once you found the unit you want, you can just keep farming these coins, and you can use it in a coin shop to purchase additional goodies. Yeah, they look like this. You know, all kinds of additional goodies that you can spend coins on to spend your coins when you run out of units to do the selector on. So that's what a headhunt is. And it's not confirmed, but it's incredibly likely it's going to happen. It's happened 2 years in a row. It's massively profitable for Epic 7. They've got every reason to do it and no reason not to do it. So a lot of people are kind of counting on it. If Smilegate doesn't do it, there'll be backlash. I guarantee you there'll be backlash. But Smilegate does what they do, and until it's announced, nothing's official. But it is so unfathomable to me that this would not happen, that I am on the edge of saying, yeah, it's unofficially confirmed. Does that work for you? It's unofficially confirmed? So yeah, it's probably coming back, because they've always done it, and they've got every reason to do it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Susu. They promised they would never do the thing again with the summer event, and then they did the thing with the summer event. So yeah. They don't always make good choices. They very often make bad choices. I mean, the way they've handled this unit recently, with her buffs, listening to a vocal minority and taking away very, very good buffs, the bullshit centered around the voice actress changes and all this, they've done a lot of things that they deserve a lot of criticism for. And I'm right there with you saying that's BS, and it shouldn't be that way. And if it was my company, it wouldn't be that way. But you know what? It's not my company. So I can bitch up one side and down another how upset I am about Disney doing things a certain way that I didn't approve of. I can complain that Fox News isn't giving enough of a liberal view, or that MSNBC is not giving enough of a conservative view. I can complain that companies are doing things bad all I want, and I can rally petitions, I can vote with my feet, I can send in complaints, or I can just accept that that's just the way they want to run their company. And, you know, if they lose money for it, I can sit there all vindicated, like, ha, see, I was right. And if they make money from it, I'll be like, damn it, they did it wrong and still came out shining. That's just the way of the world. And if you want to make change, you can try to make change. Otherwise, you just have to deal with it. And right now, I'm dealing with Smilegate doing a lot of things that I think are shitty and upsetting, but until they make a statement, until we hear back from them on it, until we see the roadmap forward, don't know. Pound for pound, I think this is an amazing game. I think the developers listen to the community far more than any other game I've ever been involved with, and I really enjoy playing it, and I enjoy the community. So, yeah. I guess that's all I got to say on that. And look, man, if you log in every single day during a headhunt event, You might miss out on this amazing pack where you could spend $30 and get a whole bunch of penguins, gold, and stigma. Nah? Imagine if there was no headhunt and you were spending time with family, drinking spiked eggnog and opening presents around a fire. You would never have known that you could have spent $30 on 5 million gold and some catalysts. It's crazy. Of course they want you in the game every single day, guys. It's the fairest gacha I have ever played. Yeah, fairest, right? I mean, it's a gacha game. They, by nature, are not consumer friendly. But it's the most consumer friendly. It's like saying, you know, this is the least painful way to die. It's like, yeah. Show me. Oh, God, 30 runs and I only got 9. Consumer friendly, my ass. Bad game. Bad game. I hate farming runes too, man. Hate it. Skill issue? Shit. I'm not sure I'm such a big fan of this new elemental screen. I guess I gotta get used to it, but it's just kind of more boring to me. What do you guys think? Like, this is what you put your development time into? Yeah, right display? Who asked? I mean, it's got cute animation, it's flashy, I guess it's, you know... I don't know. I could take it or leave it, I guess. It's sure, I'm glad they put development time into that instead of a freaking penguin slider. Where's my penguin slider? Why do I have to summon penguins like this? Why? Why? What do you have against my finger and my mouse, Smilegate? Why do you hate my mouse so much? Okay, hang on. Keyboard, this spot, spacebar, save. Why do you hate my keyboard, mouse? Or Smilegate? Now instead of my mouse getting broken, my keyboard's getting broken. Come on. And nobody tell me I can just make a macro. Macros are against the rules, so Smilegate doesn't want me to do an autoclave. See, Skate already did it. Yeah, I know. They shouldn't put in they should not have a system set up where the UI is so unfriendly that the common solution that everybody proposes is download something that breaks the terms of service to make the game playable. You hear that, Smilegate? People are actively saying, break the terms of service to make your game playable. You know what's stupid is buying penguins, I've got no slider, but if I go in here and I sell penguins, oh, what's it? It's a slider. I can't use a slider to buy them, but I can use a slider to sell them? What the deuce, Smilegate? It took me 25 minutes to get all of these penguins. It took me 15 seconds to sell them. For crying out loud. It's not like you don't have sliders in the game. It's such a simple quality of life. Why do you hate my keyboard so much? Smilegate's in bed with the keyboard and mouse companies. They get a kickback every time we have to buy a new keyboard and mouse that we broke. It's all Big Mouse. It's a conspiracy. Angry oh, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. You know, it's funny. I get angrier at stupid stuff than I get angry at bad decisions. Bad decisions, I'm at least like, okay, yeah, it sucks what they're doing with the voice actors, voice actress things. It sucks the stance they're taking on AI, but you know what? They're embracing the future and it's going to make them more profits, so I understand a thing. I don't agree with a thing, but I understand a thing. I'm angry about it, but at least I know why they're doing it. The system's in there. It's like, it's not even development time. It's like, take one day out of an intern's schedule and put it in there and make everybody's lives easier. The only reason you don't do it, the only reason you say, hey intern, I know everybody's been asking for a penguin slider, but you know what? Snappier elemental summon. Am I thinking this is what everybody's really gonna want? This will make them forget about no gear loadouts, no penguin sliders.
Why are you doing this, mouse? Pepperlaw.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Makes me angry.
Has to offer, click the link in the description below. All right, so this is the H9.
My hat's fuckered up now.
It's a dual chamber.
Makes me mad.
Very
mad as a fucking hatter. It's my angry hat. That's right.
Low 11, an O11 dynamic type of a shape, which has become very popular these days. You can see we got a glass front. We've got a motherboard, wall.
Ah. Just choked on my tea. Boob slider for Arya. That would be great. Whew. Guys, I'm kind of out of shit to do. I think I might have to go enjoy my Sunday now. Let's go kill one more, Harsetti team. We can't go against this girl with Arya because that's just stupid. So we are going to do Landy or Euphine. Euphine with Tywin's a little scary. I'll let you guys pick 1 or 3. Put them in the chat. 1 for Tywin team, 3 for Landy team. Who are we going into? One, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3. It's a freaking tie. YouTube really wants 3. And since YouTube is unified on this, we're going to go with what YouTube says. So Landy it is. Okay, so... Bite me, Harsetti. Get him. I also forgot to put Elena back on there, so we're doing this with Elvira instead of Elena. I'm going to have to make another team, but that's okay. This might be okay. I love how there's like the one person over on YouTube who said 1 just to be different. Nonconformist. Dude, I still don't know about Harsetti. If the drop ML legs... If they drop ML legs, I'm gonna be so upset. Ugh, I know, Velkin. It's almost like they really want you to consider buying Mystic packs or something. Ugh. The FOMO is strong in this game. Pow! Blinded. Pow! Murder Penguin. The most metal S2 ever, right, guys? Oh, look at that damage. It's so good. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Senya's Unchained. Senya's Unchained, everybody. Incoming damage. Bam. Ouch. Kick, kick, kick. No, don't provoke. Why you provoke? Now she won't shoot Landy. Even if you're stealth, you provoked her and she'll hit through stealth. Pow. Pow. Never mind, she won't hit through stealth because she's dead. Pow. Oh, we got one more. We got one more. Pow. Murder Penguin.
My giant friend. Murder Penguin.
Murder Penguin. Pow. Get fucked. All right. That was fun. I like this team, guys. I like this team a lot. I think we finally got a way to deal with Harsetti and make her not so damn miserable in RTA, or in Guild Wars Arena. We'll have to see. Requires some more testing. If you guys are pushing tonight, good luck. I weep for you. This is a rough season to push. What artifact should I run for Gala if I don't have Wind Rider or her signature artifact? Do you have, okay, this is gonna suck because it depends how new you are, but if you've been around for a while, then you should have Prelude to a New Era. It'll increase your damage by 20%, and it doesn't give a lot of health. So this will help you in keeping her health low, but maximizing your damage. Though some people argue that the attack increase is worth the HP being low, and having this maxed out is worth having it. But this one was limited, so if you missed it, if you weren't around for it, then you don't have this one. Same story that everybody's saying Portrait. This one's even further back. How do you get Prelude for New Era? You invent a time machine and you go back to when they ran it. If you don't have Prelude or Portrait, and you don't have Wind Rider, you're going to want just a decent single target damage. Symbol of Unity, of course, is a good choice, but you maybe have this one on somebody more important like Lena. Why is this on Lena? The fuck? You know what? Let's see what everyone else is doing. So those of you may not have known about this, you can go and look at the unit that you've got, right? That you're trying to gear. And you can go down here and click on this little lightning bolt thing and click View Statistics. Now, before you click View Statistics, you want to take precautions, okay? Because you will get flashbanged. And once you're here, then you can look at artifacts. Looks like most people are running her on Wind Rider. Other people are running her on her signature artifact. And then Daydream Joker. This is for the people that are running her on PVE, like using her to kill Banshees and Cadies, right? So you don't have Wind Rider or her signature, so this doesn't help you out that much. There's one other place you can look. You can go to Google and you can type in Fribbles units. And the hero library will be the first thing that jumps up for you. You go into the hero library and you can type in the name of the unit. Midnight Gala Lilius, and hit search. And this will show you the top people who have built this unit in their Fribbles system. The people using Fribbles, and it'll show you based on gear score how the monsters of this game have her built, right? Don't try to build to these stat points. You will lose your damn mind, right? This monster has a 303 speed, 321 crit damage, 4K attack Gala. I was over here being pretty damn impressed at my 4K 300 with 280 speed, but this guy actually got an additional 24 crit damage and an additional 20 speed on his unit. Don't try to emulate these monsters. These are people that spend insane money, right? But it'll let you see how most people are building her, and almost everybody speed torrent set, 92%. That's a pretty strong mandate that speed torrent is the way to go. And then 42% are running her on Wind Rider, 13% are running her on that Prelude artifact, which you can't get anymore. 13% are running on Host Lilius. 12% are putting her on Dark Oath Keeper, or Dark Blood Keeper. That's Janua's artifact. Portrait, Daydream, Secret Arch Storm Sword. This one's actually kind of dirty. Secret Arch Storm Sword will CR push her up when the enemy does an AoE attack, and then she can murder something. So you can actually run her slower with more damage. I bet when I click on this and I look, the people that are running around Secret Arch Storm Sword, notice the speed is an order of magnitude less. Well, not an order of magnitude, but significantly less than the people that are running around Wind Rider. .300 speed, 286 speed, 290 speed, 282 speed, Secret Arch Storm Sword, 270, 260, 250, 250, 260, because they're using Secret Arch Storm Sword to CR push her up. So that's a nasty little trick you can use to build a higher damage, slower one, and use, because everybody's going to use a non-attack skill, right, to try to strip her stuff so that they can go at her a little easier, and boom, she CR pushes up, and it's like, you better freaking kill her or she's gonna wipe out one of your units. That's a neat trick. Dust Devil, I guess that's kind of nice to let her S1 hit a second time, double the chances of healing. Symbol of Unity, so you can find alternate builds and alternate artifact selections under the Fribbles Hero Library. If you, oops. The Heroes Library and the Guild War thing on Fribbles, these are good bookmarks to have, I think, for helping you build stuff. For when the resources in the game just aren't panning out for you, right? You can also go into the review section. And for those who missed it, I may have clicked too fast. Same thing. Click the Thunderbolt Lightning. No need to take precautions because there's no flashbang under the reviews. And it takes you in here, and you can look at the past 2 months, right? Always look at the most recent ones. And you can kind of go through and see what people are doing. This guy's using Symbol of Unity. Symbol of Unity. Symbol of Unity. Symbol of Unity. Manica of Control. Damn it. To get increased crit chance and 18% better hit chance. So he's using this as a stat stick so he can run. This is Last Piece Corinne. Didn't you guys tell me I was on the wrong damn unit? I was wondering why there's so many Symbol of Unity people. 2 months ago. Okay, Wind Rider. Wind Rider makes more sense. Most of these are going to be Wind Rider. Oh, Exorcist Tonfa. Here's somebody that doesn't have Wind Rider, but wants her to do good damage and doesn't want to use a Symbol of Unity. Exorcist Tonfa is Symbol of Unity. Symbol of Unity just has the 20% chance to hit through evasion bonus that Tonfa doesn't have. Other than that, they're the same art. Well, Symbol of Unity also works below 50% health. Tonfa doesn't, but hey, it's a 3-star artifact. He's got her on Hostess. Here's one who's got her on Dust Devil. So you can kind of look and get build ideas. This guy's going with the counter Dust Devil. Slow nuclear ER counter Dust Devil version. Has anybody had any success with this? I sure haven't. So anyway, there's resources to see what other people are doing if you can't quite figure out what you want to put on her. Sometimes it's nice. The hero library might show you artifacts that are used, but looking at the reviews lets you see not just the artifacts that are used, but what builds they're used on, right? You wouldn't necessarily want to use Dust Devil on a non-counter build. You wouldn't want to necessarily use, what do you call it? Secret Art Storm Sword on a base speed version. Can I show my Aria? Sure. My Aria is not a normal Aria. She's specifically built for dealing with Harsetti. So this, and she's run with Christie, and between Christie being on Bastion and having Shamadra staff on my Soul Weaver, she's kicking around 320 effect resistance total. And that's why I just dropped her ER and dropped her speed so I could pump up her crit damage and do a lot more damage. And yeah, she's on Time Matter. Time Matter works really, really, really well on her for this build. But this is not... Oh no, we can just go to reviews. This is not a normal Aria build, right? Normal Arias look like this. They've got some speed on them. They've got more ER. They're not quite as much damage. He's using this to supplement his low ER. This guy is, I don't know what the fuck I'm even looking at here. This is the weirdest damn Aria I've ever seen. This is a little more typical. Kind of slow. Counter Aria? Counter Aria? Counter Aria. Counter Aria. Sinister, you're cooking so hard you burn down the whole damn kitchen. I gotta go, guys. I can't anymore. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. Thank you guys all for being here. Let's find somebody to raid. You can ask them what their thoughts are on a counter Arya, because that's just crazy. It's already 3 o'clock. I've burned almost all my Sunday with you guys. We're all going to go say hi to Scully. He lives over in Shrekland. Make sure you guys say hi. One of the most underrated and fun streamers on Twitch. Anyway, thank you guys for being here today, for supporting me. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. We'll try to unpack the new Hall of Trials, do some Guild Wars. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Take care, everybody.
In a DVD box set streaming era. There's still 7 days left.